Hello, 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 gamers. Hope everyone's doing good today. Welcome on in. We're acing these investigations with the whole gang. Everybody's here. It's a party. We're investigating a 12-year-old crime scene. Long title. We're in the middle of the episode. We're nearing the end of investigations, too. Ooh. Ooh. We're almost done with our Miles Edgeworth. We're soon never gonna see his face again. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Right. Alright, what do we got for logic? Okay. Gotcha. Just refresh myself on the evidence real quick. I just like to... if it's been a couple days, I'm like, let me just double check. Okay. Yep. Alright. Let's look at stuff. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Hey, that's Snowman. It was melted in the simulation of the morning after the murder, huh? And that muffler was all wet. And its little button eyes had fallen off. Indeed, it still looked reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely, I could see one thing that's missing. Its other button eye. Aw, poor guy. I bet some kid took it as a stupid prank. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe they have potential. You think one of the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. That's a grown hand. In fact, I think it was grabbed by somebody else entirely. Oh, we can deduce. Hey, we got it. The snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say? Yeah, his right eye. Indeed. Luckily, we've managed to locate it. The button Mr. Alden was holding. Look at that! It's the same type of button as the other eye and everything. And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. It means that Alden walked here. What does the button contradict? The victim's location! The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood, which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What if, after being struck, Mr. Alden lost his balance and reached out to grab something to steady himself? The snowman. The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling. I get it. So you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked? I am. Within arm's reach, to be precise. I'm wondering, since it's not beneath the president wanting to do this, I'm wondering if his kidnapping was staged. Because he tried to stage his assassination, so it makes sense if he tried to... like, if he was trying to stage a kidnapping here, and then maybe Mr. Excelsius Winter came in and whacked the victim. And he's currently nowhere near that close. Right, but his footprints only go as far as the planter. He never came back this way. What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the prints again. Alright, I'll take us back to the scene when Mr. Alden's body was found. But the footprints on the left definitely matched up with Mr. Alden's shoes, right? So what's the deal? Yeah. Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. Oops. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Alden's footprints? Well, they're the same size, a 12, which is pretty big, and the prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planters where his body was found. But as we've established, when he was attacked, he fell and grabbed the button from the snowman. Well, being a great thief, I know a few contortionist tricks, but that would have been way beyond even me. Some average Joe stretching his arms that far? Basically impossible. I think we can be reasonably certain that the prints were made by the shoes the victim was wearing. But can we be certain that they were actually the victim's shoes? Oh my god, did they change out his shoes? They do look a little big on him, and that's right. Perhaps we should take another look at them. Oh my gosh. They do look a little big. I can't believe they changed his shoes. That's funny. I must scour the scene and inspect anything. Yeah. These shoes. As the case file says, they match the footprints, but... Huh? These aren't the victim's shoes. I'm sure of it. Who would wear big shoes? What do you mean? Look at how the laces are tied. Don't they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. Not actually Alden's shoes, they appear to have been placed on his feet by the culprit after the murder took place. So these prints, they go right up to where the victim was found and they stop right by his feet. But they didn't actually belong to him. So are the prints by his head his? The ones that lead away and come back? No, I don't think so. They're too small. So neither set belongs to him? Then how did he get here? Was he carried? That's easy enough. He didn't walk. He was carried by the killer. So then where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspect? Or was it on one of like the other sides because they're all identical? Interesting. Alright, let's check our logic. Alright. Found by Alden's body. Did it come from somebody nearby, somewhere nearby? There are signs indicating that Alden's body had moved from somewhere. What did What did Winner dig up? LaGuardia asked him to dig something up in your planner, but what was Winner involved? Got LaGuardia acquitted of the kidnapping. Were they accomplices? What about this? Yep. If Chairman Winner was involved in President Wang's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday had something to do with the kidnapping. Oh, I get it. You do? You bet I do. We're talking treasure, right? Loot. He must have been digging up the ransom money. The ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility. Glad you agree. Concrete was broken and the earth exposed. Did Excelsius Winner dig up the ransom money? Okay, I don't think those connect. I think Mr. Alden's body was moved. How else do you explain the button clutched in his hand? And that would suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. I'd better take a closer look. Size 9 footprints going toward the body and away from it. The case file says they must have belonged to the murderer. They grow fainter as they get closer to the orphanage gates. That's just because there's less snow over there, no? Be that as it may, it certainly doesn't help in matching the prints up with the name and face. Poor snowman. He's not looking good. It can't be helped. Snow and ice eventually melt. That's just how it is. And so do mysteries. All we have to do is wait. The snowman of the case will melt into the clear water of truth. All you have to do is wait, Kay. I have to work to solve those mysteries. Oh, there's a brick missing! So there are planters outside the orphanage gates, too. Oh, look! They planted stuff that flowers in winter under all that snow. Indeed. A little frigid, but tasteful nonetheless, even if this is a simulation. Yes, indeed. A bit frosty looking, but tasty nonetheless. For a simulation. Yes, you repeated what I said, but weirder. But there's a brick missing. Huh? Look, there's a brick missing here. Yeah, we got it. That's where the brick came from. The rest of the brickwork looks looks fine. Strange that just this one is missing. You telling me none of the detectives noticed that? Alright, let's logic that. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder. What did you say? Brick used in Alden's murder was taken from right next to the snowman. Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, they're the same exact shape and size. Okay, does this connect? Alright, there we go. I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman. Right, the button came from there, and the brick too. Indeed. And what's more, if the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak up on the victim all the way over by the planters, Mr. Alden would have seen them right away! Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Alden wasn't standing by the planters. He was next to the snowman. Gotcha! Alright, here goes. Oh my god, he was the murderer! Or kidnapper. Now, see, Now, a bit of a discrepancy here. Which means that the kidnapping was over here. Snowman with one eye missing, and it comes up to about my shoulder. That's a super heavyweight contender right there. Those kids weren't messing around. Never mind its weight and size. I think we need some slightly more in-depth analysis here. Well, it has a bucket for a hat, buttons for eyes, and a nice fluffy muffler. The full snowman uniform. And it looks like it can't wait for me to punch and kick it into 1,000 tiny snowman pieces. My goodness, Kay, so violent. Perhaps if we could keep things a little less subjective, Kay. Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work, huh? No. Indeed. Everybody who is present is in exactly the same spot. So where did we go wrong? One of these pieces of evidence on which we based our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked somehow? But which one wasn't? Probably not any of our recent evidence. Believed to have been murdered during a call when he was detailing something he witnessed. Time of death February 10th, approximately 1 a.m. Cause of death, lots of blood from the blood to the head. Maybe this? Occurred on February 10th, 12 years ago. President Zheng Fa was kidnapped and ransomed for $100 million. Presence at embassy until midnight, confirmed by Da Long Lang. Okay. This? Probably this. Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Alden? Huh? What do you mean? We know that whoever killed him moved his body. But why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't? And then they took the photo to help back up the lie? So much work put into this murder. They had the president at gunpoint. They could easily have forced him to pose for the picture. He would have had no choice but to comply. Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one picture from Mr. Alden's camera, right? Indeed. I imagine his killer probably removed the film that was already in there, then replaced it with another, thereby ensuring that the only picture found was the one they staged. Yeah, that makes total sense. So this picture was actually taken after Mr. Alden was killed. No way. That means that there was a third person on the scene. At least, because somebody had to take the photo. Staged photograph taken after Alden was killed. And there you have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Alden saw at all. Oops. It seems highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe that was the case. Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Alden thought he saw him being kidnapped?
Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we can use to try and figure that out.
Oh yeah, he left that voicemail too.
He did? I think we should listen back to it one more time, don't you? This is surely the only place where the president and his kidnapper could have been standing. Are we gonna listen to the voicemail? I assume here, because that's where the footprints are. Or, no, here, because that's where there's no footprints.
Take that!
No, I don't think so. The bar hasn't disappeared.
That's where they really were? How do you figure that?
I don't know, I'm lying. Do I need a reason?
What, you mean you don't have one?
Can I listen to the voicemail? It's been a few days. Hey Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. Anyway, I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason, and there's another. Damn it, the lights went out, so I can't quite see, but it looks like he was being kidnapped. Anyway, probably nothing, but I should just let you know. A light went out. That clearly wasn't it.
Let's go over what Mr. Alden said in his message one more time. Mention some of the stuff he could see, right?
He did. Perhaps we can use that to help us figure out where they were standing.
I would have loved you, but you would...
Oh, wait.
No, it doesn't let you. It doesn't let you read the voicemail here.
This is where the light's out, so they were standing here. Which makes sense why the footprints are gone. Recall this statement from Mr. Alden's voicemail. Damn it, the light's out. 2 of the lights here in the yard are broken.
Yeah, he must have been talking about the one over by the building.
Alright, could you update the simulation to reflect everything we've learned?
Sure.
And there we have it. The kidnapper was really standing over by the building. Yes, which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they moved the body and staged the photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail, which helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to trial. Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. I imagine it will also affect our understanding of the scene from when the body was found.
Only one way to find out. Ready to make the jump?
The switch between the 2 recreations. I need to first press Y to talk with K, and then select switch recreations. I'll give it a try later when I need it. There's no mistaking it. This is where Mr. Alden actually took his pictures, before being attacked by the murderer with a brick from the planter just behind him. After being attacked, he collapsed, grabbing the snowman's right eye as he fell.
Which means his body would have been here at first. And not where we thought it was before.
Indeed. We should examine the area where we previously thought it fell too.
Like, why is there blood here?
Mr. Alden wasn't killed here between the planters at all.
Then what's this blood doing here?
Things have changed considerably in terms of what the simulation is showing us. But if we want to look more closely at this blood, I think we'll be better off looking at the simulation from the point at which the body was discovered.
But what are we waiting for? I'm ready when you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know.
There are burn marks on this pillar here.
The report says there was a fire sometime on the evening of the incident.
A fire?
Let's see, where was it again? Ah. Yeah, one of the orphans set a fire with some kerosene, some sort of prank probably.
They sound like a lively bunch, possibly too lively. It seems that their antics spoil their chances of finding any footprints near the entrance of the building. These planters.
According to the case file, the yard stretched around 3 sides of the orphanage. And there were 3 planters on each side.
Yes, planters arranged in a very particular pattern. One we've seen somewhere before. Yeah.
Shame there aren't many flowers, but I guess it was the middle of winter.
Yes, but look at that one. It's bright yellow.
Weird, how come there's only one? I feel like we've read this dialogue before. Wait, it looks like somebody dropped it.
Zessalai. Yeah, we've read this before. Zessalai and Lily, if I'm not very much mistaken, a rare member of the family Liliaceae. Lion lily, you say? Wow, wait, didn't Judge Gravel give President Wang some lion lilies? What is the same flower doing here? This can't be a coincidence, can it? Ooh. I believe this particular cultivator is from Asia, where it's said to symbolize the bond between parent and child. Oh, okay. I wasn't aware you were so knowledgeable when it came to flowers, Franziska. What I just told you was common knowledge. Perhaps you just need to read a little more. Bond between parent and child. Is that her dad? Is that your dad? That's just a theory, though.
So this is where Mr. Alden actually saw the president and his kidnapper, because she gave him the same flowers.
Yes. Which pretty clearly suggests the link between the kidnapping and the orphanage. You could see why so much trouble was taken to suggest that it happened elsewhere. And it would explain the connection and stuff. Or maybe there's some familial bond. We'll see, we'll see.
Yeah, they pulled some really dirty tricks there. Faking a photo like that? That's just cheating.
Not to mention disposing of Mr. Alden's camera film and forcing the president to pose at gunpoint. They must have put in some new film and staged the photo immediately afterward.
And if Chairman Winter was involved, he could have changed or hidden other evidence as well.
It certainly doesn't help that the SS5 case file was classified until just recently.
Yeah, but he's behind bars now, and the truth is coming out at last.
Indeed, although much still remains unclear. We need to look very closely at the differences between this and the previous simulation.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Switch them! You want me to show you the scene as reported in the police's case files, right? Okay, let's take another look at how things were when they found the body. There we have it.
So this is where Mr. Alden really met his fate. But he was moved in order to make the scene consistent with the stage photograph. Over to the spot between the planters.
So the footprints, the fact they go over there and come back,
that's the killer, yeah. I think that tells us something important. I think they were left by whoever carried him over there. Yeah, I think what happened was here, and then he went, oh, let me just scoop that guy up and set him down right there, and back to leaving this way. Solved it. That means a third person killed him. The blood is, the blood cuts off weirdly. That's strange. Was the fire after? I think the fire was after. Blood on the snow. A lot of it. It certainly looks as if a murder occurred here, doesn't it?
Wait, but we just figured out that Mr. Alden was killed over by the snowman, right?
We did. I think this blood might belong to somebody else.
Oh.
I thought it was just like, they're just like, hold it in, till we move ya.
What?
I guess it makes sense if they're trying to cover it.
But the police report said the blood was Mr. Alden's.
Need to remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Winter. The man would have had no scruples about altering the official record over something this small.
But then why go to all that trouble? Couldn't he have just cleaned up the blood instead?
What if it was his blood? Ooh. He wasn't able to. Think about it. He knew that this is where the police would find Mr. Alden's body. And he knew that the police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues.
Oh, you mean luminol. Yeah, they would have found traces of blood if they'd used that for sure.
Exactly. He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of any such tests when they came back in. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official results with a doctored copy.
Yeesh. So we're looking for a forgery this whole time? We've been looking at a forgery this whole time? That sucks. Wait, but it says Mr. Alden's clothes were covered with blood too.
It does. And if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever's blood this is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Alden's body was placed here.
I get it. Which means that the other person's blood was spilt not long before Mr. Alden was killed.
I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? Left on the scene of the murder 12 years ago, the blood wasn't Alden's. Not gonna talk about how it cuts off weirdly.
This is the only part where there's no snow, huh?
Because of the fire when the kids set. Imagine the snow here melted as a result.
This must be the unluckiest orphanage in the world. First a fire, then a murder? Talk about going from bad to worse.
First a fire, then a kidnapping, then a murder, Kay. The fire came first? But just because it caused the snow to melt. Oh, we're deducing stuff. Alright, let's...
Somebody's dropped a yellow flower here. It's a lion lily, right?
According to Franziska, yes. They're originally from Asia, if I recall correctly.
Yep, and she said it symbolizes the pond being painted or tiled, right?
It was the bond between parent and child, Kay. Crazy thing to have in an orphanage. Alright, I think it's the fire. I feel like the fire, the way it's like is, it feels like it was after. Oh, nope, never mind. I lied. I lied.
And when did the fire happen? We need to take another look and think about that.
Oh, no. We don't have any logic. I don't think we have any other evidence. I'm assuming it's with the fire because they keep mentioning it, but I don't know. Or maybe it's with the bloodstain? Because I've been talking about how weird it looks. Okay, there. Okay, there we go. There's a clear contradiction here.
Huh? In the bloodstain?
The blood is clearly cut off where the snow was melted by the fire. Which means that the blood in question was spilt before the fire was started. Yes! I noticed that. It looks weird.
Huh? But the fire happened before the murder, no?
If we choose to believe the case file, yes. But if the fire was actually set after what happened here, the kid who lit it might have seen something. Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winter's version of events. So he killed the kid! We need to know more about this fire. You. Yes, Shifu. The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might have been a record of it. Go see if they have anything and bring everything you find back here right away. Understood, Shifu. I'll get right on it. One more thing. What is it, Shifu? Contact my family back in Zhengfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. There should? What kind of something exactly? I told you I'd seen this scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I've remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it. Or at least, of something very much like it. What? Looks like it was drawn by a child. Oh my gosh. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire. Which one of you is it? Which one of you are orphans? It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away. Yes, Shifu.
Yay! We're healed.
Are we done with Little Thief? Yep. Bye-bye, Little Thief. Shifu, I'm back. Oh, just in time. I brought everything the police had on the fire, and I also brought the picture from your father's office. How? I thought it was in Jingfa. Oh, and one more thing. About time. What kept you, huh? We'll hand it over. Let him finish talking. It's probably important. Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we? Okay. This is awesome. This is great. No, this child's an artist for sure. Okay, yeah. Okay. I feel like we should have kept Lil Thief up because I feel like with how like the playground toys are drawn, I feel like that'll be helpful. Anyway, the president's got his bull with him. He's got his Torosaurus plushie with him. And he's got a bouquet of lion lilies. Bringing that to an orphanage. Crazy. And then that... Oh! That's Bodhidharma Kanice! That's him and his dog! It's him! And that's his puppy! That's who it is. Well, there's the murderer. Or the kidnapper, sorry. There's the kidnapper. I don't think he's the murderer. I think somebody else did it. I think Winner did it. This also means the child was from the angle. The child was near the entrance. The child's the murderer. Lock him up. Or her up. Oh my gosh. It's you, Verity, isn't it? You're the murderer. This is it. This is the picture I remember. Could this be a depiction of something that happened on the night of the incident? Looks like the kidnapping.
Sure looks like a kid drew it, huh?
Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of the child who set the fire. Picture drawn by the child who caused the fire during the incident 12 years ago. It depicts what he saw the night of the incident. Hey, we don't gender the child. It could be any child. Shifu, there's... What now? Look, it'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor? Why do you think my father kept this? Imagine he acquired it at some point during his investigation. Although I have no idea why he would have chosen to keep it to himself. Can we see the case file for the fire too? Sure. Here. If you'll just give me a moment to read through it. Oh, I guess it was a boy. It seems the boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the evening of the incident. And then disappeared several days later. That's crazy. What? Must have been because he saw something, right?
No, a kid? Really? That's horrible.
But sadly not unimaginable. That's sad. Huh. Looks like the kid left something behind that was put into evidence. What's this? Is that the other horn? Yeah, that's the other horn of the Torosaurus plushie. But what's it doing in the case file? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? I've seen this somewhere before. Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that could well be connected. Which item of evidence relates to the item the boy left behind?
If you're so confident, why can't you do it yourself, Miles Edgeworth?
I don't know what it was doing in the evidence for that case, but it looks like that might be the missing horn from this soft toy. Hey, that was President Wang's. You've seen it before? Of course. He always kept it somewhere close by. I remember it because of the missing piece. I see. It has a special device inside it that plays recorded sound when you twist the horn.
Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back on might unlock more recordings?
You never know. The toy itself should still be up on the 51st floor. It's gonna be gone. Hey, you heard the man. Yes, Shifu, I'll go fetch it right away. It's gonna be gone. It's not gonna be there. Oh, never mind, it was. Whoa, surprising. We actually have evidence that we went looking for. Here it is, Shifu. The Torosaurus doll, just like you asked. Good work. Hand it to the prosecutor over there. Well, does the horn found at the orphanage fit the president's plushie? Yep.
It fits perfectly.
And any more recordings on there?
Hi, Dijon. Sorry, President Wang. It's me, Amelie. I know it's been a while. I saw on the news that you were visiting the country soon, and I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end, I decided I had to.
Verity? Hold on, we're trying to listen. Amelie.
Turn it off, right now.
What's gotten into Judge Gavelle? No, don't listen to her, just keep listening.
Are you okay?
Just turn it off, please.
You see,
Oh.
I had a baby. A beautiful little boy. Your beautiful little boy.
Oh. Sean.
I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Oh, except...
Here's my theory. She is also President Wang's child. And she's actually Sean's older sister. And she adopted him after whatever tragedies that happens here. Maybe Amelie, like, dies or something. Oh my gosh.
Oh, except I called him Sean. Sean Fenn. It has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
No! Why do they all have different last names, though? All of them. Every single one. Sean Fenn. The kid.
And also that I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard.
In the orphanage?
I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye.
Or maybe she's... Maybe she's not President Wang's daughter? Oh, or Verity's not? Or maybe she is? This is interesting. This is some crazy drama. Why are they meeting at the orphanage? She's like, anyway, you can look at the baby, but I'm throwing the baby. Oh! Oh, he didn't know. He didn't know. Oh, no. What? He was my dad?
I'm so sorry, Sean.
Care to explain what the heck is going on, Gavelle?
Sean
isn't my biological son. Yeah, I'd hope not! Given you were 12. I really wouldn't hope so.
I adopted him at 12?
And he was aware of this?
Yes, of course. His mother, Emily Fenn.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
She died 5 years ago. We were cousins.
Oh, okay, so she's not President Wang's daughter. She's, okay. She's related to Sean in, like, other ways.
But we were also friends. The best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters.
Yeah.
And so, when she died, it seemed only natural that Sean should come and live with me. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret,
And I decided that the best way to do that would be for him never to know in the first place. Oh. It's quite a lot to learn from a recording made on a seemingly innocent toy. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message and then sent the plushie to the president. Hey. Yes, Sean? You're sure? He was really my dad? Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Jiangfa. Makes sense. That line of work might have well brought her into contact with the president. What? You told me she worked at the orphanage. She did, but only after she returned. Okay, that's why they met at the orphanage. That's where she worked. But only after she returned. After she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her.
Not so fast.
No more heartfelt moments. This is too sappy. Sorry, Judge Cavell, but I have to ask. Emily, the lady who asked the president to come, why didn't she show up herself? Why isn't she anywhere in the files related to the SS5 incident? She's the one that did the kidnapping. Ooh. She never made it to the rendezvous that night. Someone was tailing her. I'll bet that was Chairman Winter's doing. Though sadly we can't prove it. And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again. Then she died 5 years ago. This can't be easy for Sean.
Hey, Sean? You thirsty? We could go get a soda.
Okay. Oh. Okay. My sweet angel.
My treat, okay? Come on, I think I saw a vending machine over...
He's not gonna go. You think I can't buy myself a soda? This is important, and it's about me. I'm staying. Oh, that didn't work at all. You tried, Kay, and that's the thought that counts. Oh, no, this music's so sad. Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago. So that's it. That was the big secret. But why the flowers? I wanted to tell him face to face that Emily was gone, but also that you were alive and well. More than well. But it makes sense now. No wonder Judge Cavell was so keen to avoid sharing the details of their meeting.
Yeah, she would have had to share the truth about Sean, too.
That was why I took the lion lilies with me. So there would be no doubt that I knew Emily, and that I knew her well. These flowers bore a special significance for the two of them, you see. Okay, makes sense. President Wang gave Emily a bouquet of lion lilies in the early days of their romance. But now, he too is dead. If only he had lived. Sean might finally have been able to get to know him. Shifu! I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but... What? What is it? You've been hovering there this whole time. Can't it wait? They said something else from Jiangfa. President Wang's will. What? Is it Sean? Is it addressed to Sean? The president's will, huh? He gave my father medal after medal. They had to come up with new ones just for him. In the end, there were no medals left to give. So he made us keepers of his last will and testament. Those medals, that duty, they're our greatest pride, our family jewels. What? This is... What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case? could say that. Seems he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son. Oh, stop.
Sean's name appears in the president's will.
And we're certain that the document is authentic, that President Wang wrote it himself. Sure we are. It's old, but it's real. My family took charge of it back before the SS5 incident happened.
But why is he doing it in the will?
Like, why not address it? Why is he waiting to address it after he dies? Don't want to analyze it back home to be sure, but I'd stake my name on it being the genuine article. Wang was a renowned world leader. A child nobody knew about would have been sure to cause a stir. And yet he chose to mention the child in his will nonetheless. Well, that's that, I guess. Still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hand. There's no denying it. Sean, you're President Wang's son. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, me too, Gumshoe. Like, it's kind of obvious. We got that already.
Sean?
Oh, there he goes. Sean! Why is Edgeworth the one running after him? The truth behind the SS5 incident. Ooh. Oh, he's mourning. Oh, stop. Oh, sweet boy.
Sean. He was my dad.
It can't have been easy learning the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. And too late to ever get to know him.
You know how hard I tried to find him? Sean. I get it. He was the president. He had a lot more to think about than just me. But he was right there in front of me. Right there on the set. So why? Why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he tell me who he was? I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Mom. It's mine. If I hadn't broken my promise to you, that fire would have never happened, and he wouldn't have... Oh. Ruined everything. Everything. It's all my fault. I even ruined your flowers. Sean. Please, you mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here. With me. Just for a little while.
The bond between parent and child, as symbolized by the lion lily. I'm no expert, but it's native to Zhengfa, so I know that much at least. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Agent Lang, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us. You're right. I believe we've learned all we need to about what happened back then for now. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case? I wouldn't know. He took those to his grave with him. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing now what he figured out. What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned from Kay's reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Oh. I thought he was on my side. I thought he was agreeing with me. I was gonna cut to black or something, and then we high five and hug and kiss. The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. The Torosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fenn. Except he was kidnapped, and Alden happened to see it. If Alden hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder. Just a kidnapping. No. Instead, they had to move his body up to the planters and stage that photo to throw everybody off the scent. So that's our current theory, is it? 12-year-old incident in which President Wang was kidnapped and the sole witness was murdered. But there's something I still don't understand. There is. This. Why risk staging the picture? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he hadn't? It's a good question. And we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get there one deduction at a time. Yeah, I guess we will. Alright, deduce away. The toy search toy proves it. Must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fenn, except he was kidnapped and Alden happened to see it. If Alden hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. But the other person, but the random person's blood.
Objection!
Whose blood is it? You're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Alden hadn't witnessed the kidnapping? But is that really the case? Why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, they wouldn't have needed to murder anybody. And yet it remains possible that Mr. Alden wasn't the only person killed that night. Ah. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Alden was murdered over by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planters belonged to somebody else?
Not so fast!
Not so fast.
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying, don't you? I do. It's hard to believe. I'll be the first to admit it, but it's what the evidence suggests. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but two. You're saying they covered up a whole separate murder? But whose? Who else was killed that night? Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. They even seem to have been able to avoid it being mentioned in the files. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. They have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago that they never managed to erase. The drawing? This clearly shows that something else happened that night.
Take that!
An assassination attempt.
Excelsius Winter tried to shroud the existence of the other murder in darkness. But there was one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress. Thanks to the efforts of your father, Agent Lang. My father? Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along with all the other evidence from the crime scene. The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage.
They killed him.
But why would Chairman Winter wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have. That's why.
He did? What was it?
It's right here in this picture. The picture my father kept. I think we can all agree that's the president on the right-hand side. And that's the Torosaurus toy in his hand. But who's that standing across from him? Ah! I figured this out! Good. They're not, like really delaying it for, 3 more chapters. Being like, oh, it was Body Dharmakanese. It was kind of obvious. Eastern robes and a black dog. That can only be Body Dharmakanese.
What? The creepy assassin guy?
And what would a hired killer be doing in the presence of a president? I could think of only one thing. That's right. It wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination. Ugh.
And Warden LaGuardia and Chairman Winter were...
Yes, I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. One provided the venue for the killing. And the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. Mr. Alden was murdered because what he witnessed was actually an assassination. And not the kidnapping he thought it to be at all.
Not so fast!
Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago? We only found his body this morning. He was alive and well until just recently.
Yeah, we even met him.
Indeed. So we have a president killed 12 years ago and a president killed in the last 48 hours. 2 presidents, in other words.
Right, which is completely impossible.
Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to be 2 presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot. But regardless of what happened, I still respected him. Zhengfa may not be a big country, but he held that place together. The president Agent Lang spoke of was a noble and capable leader. But the one we met was... No, The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Oh my god, it's been a fake this whole time. Entirely unlike the man we met. It really did seem as if they were 2 completely different people. But how could one country have 2 presidents? What could explain a situation like that? This is how it was possible for there to be 2 presidents. They were twins. One was a body double. One of the 2 was a body double. Tell me that doesn't make sense. A body double. President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Zhengfa. A father figure. No, he was not that. A figure on the world stage. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years. Such as the one at Gourd Lake only a few days ago. It's true. There were more than a few assassination attempts. But that doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there was more than one president. Not without proof. Do we have any proof that there was more than one president? Oh yeah, we still have the IS-7 incident. I forgot we have that. Maybe this?
Take that!
I don't think he's noticed the contradiction staring him in the face. I haven't either. It's like the only thing that makes sense, though. It's the one that talks about the president the most. Or is he just unable to accept it? What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden. In Amelie Fenn's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight. But it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time. President's presence at embassy until midnight. Confirmed by Dalong Lang. Ah, I see.
Huh? How come?
Because he was supposedly still at the embassy. With your father, Agent Lang. So he had noticed. The only way he could have been in 2 places at once is if there were 2 of him. So the real president, that was the one who died 12 years ago? I think it might have been. But why? And who? Who would have hired Kanice to murder the president? In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at the piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. The fake evidence. What was it again? The picture?
Take that!
The picture taken with Mr. Alden's camera was staged sometime after his murder. And Mr. Alden was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph, too, must have been taken after the real president's death. So who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double. Nothing else makes sense. Ooh. I believe the president's double had killed him so that he could take his place permanently. Oh, that's a good twist. So the president currently, this guy, Dijon Wang. Oh, killed him. That's a good twist. An Excelsius winner in Fifi LaGuard helped him do it. Wait, you don't even have a body to support your theory. Are you telling me it magically disappeared? Probably burned it. No, in fact we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time. Oh my god, they buried it. They buried the body, didn't they?
Take that.
Chairman Winter dug something up last night. Something he couldn't trust anybody else to retrieve. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important.
Wait, you mean...
That's right. The real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway. What? The body may have decomposed in their intervening years, in the intervening years, but the bones would surely have remained. Mr. Powers informed us that the construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had to be wrapped up before then. The shooting of the movie, and the recovery of the president's remains.
Yeah, I guess once they started digging the place up, they would have found them pretty quick, huh?
Agent Lang, we need to have the so-called monster footprints analyzed again. Are we gonna find a skeleton? Yeah, I guess we do. If there was a body under one of them, there should be trace evidence to confirm it. Hey, give me somebody from forensics. Sir, presenting the findings of our analysis, sir. Traces of human remains were found in the dirt, along with other signs of a body having been buried. So it really was him. Bones were also recovered from the home of Excelsius Winter. The physique looks to be about right, and dental and medical records are matched. They found... He just had the president's skeleton in his house. He didn't, like, get rid of them or anything. Alright. It's him, no doubt about it. So I suspected the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago. That's a crazy twist. And the SS-5 kidnapping was in fact a homicide.
Wow, so it really was a murder, huh? This case has taken so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track.
I feel that, Kay. I feel that. Yes, perhaps we should summarize our findings, just to confirm that we understand everything correctly. You, audience, just in case you're a bit lost on everything. Not to be fair, I've actually got most of it, surprisingly.
Good idea. Let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage.
12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. His aim, to meet his infant son. The footprints we originally assumed to be those of Mr. Alden seem likely to have actually been made by the president upon his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by the assassin, Bodhidharma Kanice.
That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to...
Indeed. But at least with Mr. Kanice, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. That's why he suddenly turned after, like, he was released from the kidnapping, where he got rid of, Lang's dad and stuff, and everything. Indeed, but at least with Mr. Kanice, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred.
Mr. Alden's murder.
Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings. The moment when our culprits, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around to the side of the building. That was the sight that sealed his fate. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time. Far enough away that he believed what he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point...
Oh, the body double had come to meet with his co-conspirators. Walked right up behind Mr. Alden.
Leading to our unfortunate eyewitness.
being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. So was it the body double who moved Mr. Alden's body too?
Why were LaGuard and Winner, why were they involved in this? Yes, I think it probably was.
But none of the footprints could have been his, could they?
Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how this particular trick was achieved. What shows that the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints. Swap the shoes?
Take that!
What if the president's double moved Mr. Alden's body like this? After killing Mr. Alden... Oh, he walked in his own footprints? He could have carried it to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look just like the president, he could have been wearing the same shoes, meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left by the real president...
Of course, his would have been the same shape and size. It would have looked like a single set of footprints. So that's how it all went down? I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get.
There is? What? The little footprints.
Why did they need to pretend there was a kidnapping?
Oh. I was more concerned about the little footprints and whose those were. Mr. Alden had seen the president at the orphanage and left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message, so they had to make it look as if the events described in the message were true.
By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw.
Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi LaGuard.
She's the one in the trench coat? How can you be so sure of that?
The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints as he did before. Oh, okay, so it was her shoes.
Oh, and the other set of footprints were hers.
The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. They were about a size 9. Too small for Chairman Winner, in other words. Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden LaGuard. And that explains how his so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination. It does. Which means my father must have noticed. There's no way he wouldn't have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof. But the picture was never officially put into evidence, correct? No, he appears to have kept hold of it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it. Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wang was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out. Zhang Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping and our family name being ruined. So your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it?
Well, it's finally coming to light at last.
That would explain... All of that would explain, kind of, why Fifi LaGuard was so scared of Candice, because he had all this information on her and stuff. Interesting.
Well, it's finally coming to light at last.
12-year-old incident in which President Wang was kidnapped and the sole witness was murdered. It was updated. Who is this? Is it indeed intriguing? Huh? What? Who is it? The whole gang's here. Who's there? Ha! Oh, it's Candice. That sound. Is that a bell? He's still in his prison clothes. Bodhidharma Kanice. Crazy showing up here when there's a ton of cops around. Oh, that scared me. What the heck are you doing here? We're the law. You think you can just show up in front of us like it ain't a problem? Forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having. The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was just too good to miss, I expect. You killed President Wang. I did, but it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned. Or someone else, should I say. Someone you're looking for, I suppose. Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from my penitentiary. To find a certain young pup. Oh my god, he's gonna kill this child. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat. So the child that saw the murder is the red raincoat person? Ooh, okay. What?
Wait, you know who they are?
In a manner of speaking. What did you call them again? A secret mastermind. It's your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Red raincoat? The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he? Helmet. Yes, he does. The young pup I mentioned. He saved my life, you know. 12 long years ago. Huh. My unexpected savior. As you've surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. But that meant that I too became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter president, Winner LaGuard, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. Ah, I see. And if I hadn't met my friend, the young pup, again, they might have even succeeded. Met him again. So he knew the kid. I wonder what he's doing now. So it was the president's body double who hired you? I remember his words almost as if it were yesterday. You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risks? Why am I the one they always put in danger? When I'm out there being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who's to say it couldn't be just as good as him? There was a difference, of course. Even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because it walks and talks like a president, that doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No. Good line. Good line. So he got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill the predecessor's shoes. Rook's not around. That means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes. You. Of course I do. I'm the leader, now me. It seems the king and his knight were much the same. The president's double knew that his employer had a weakness, a young woman named Amelie. But in order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of locals. Locals such as Chairman Winner. Once Miss Fenn had been located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay their trap.
The meeting she arranged so the president could meet his son. That would have been the perfect opportunity.
Indeed. And with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, the little conspiracy was complete. Warden LaGuard. Now, quid pro quo, where might I find the pup? What makes you think the boy who helped you and our mysterious string puller are one and the same? He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage.
Oh, yeah, we saw that. It was kind of prank, right?
A prank? It was nothing of the sort, my dear. No, as I understand it, he had taken refuge in the igloo by the entrance. From there, he happened to see Winner and LaGuard carrying away a dead body. He also overheard them hatching a certain sordid little plot. A plot to remove me, the only other person who knew what had really happened, from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. In any case, he escorted me from the premises. Why? Being a very considerate boy, thought to erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. It seems he had a little kerosene set aside in the igloo for just such an occasion. Okay, I need to meet this child. What a freak. Why is he helping an assassin who we just witnessed do a murder? And then just has kerosene to light a fire. And means to light a fire. So he spread it liberally about the place and set himself a little fire.
No way. So that's what the fire was for?
The mist had been ever so beautiful. Winner and LaGuardia were positively enchanted. And while they were distracted by the show, he took the opportunity to usher me out of a side entrance. You never answered my question. You really think he's the one behind all this? I do indeed. Don't I, Helmet? Yes, I do. Huh. You surmised I was going to kill President Wang, but that meant that I too became an inconvenience in the removal. Past the president would have, oh god, I'm keen to guarantee my silence. If I hadn't met my friend, the young pup again, they might have even succeeded. Again! That's why he knew him. Again? Yes! Thank you for catching on to the again. So the two of you had met before. Yes, on a cold and lonely Christmas Eve 18 years back. Okay. That long ago? But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life. Oh. It was snowing, more than it had in years, and cold enough that death by freezing was a real possibility. I had taken Helmet out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up to him, he was sniffing at a car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but eventually I managed to open one. And inside, I found two young boys, shivering and semi-conscious. Oh. Two? Yes, and had I found them even an hour later, the poor wretches would never have made it. Aww. I took them both to a nearby orphanage. Is it me, or is there something significant about what he just told us? Yeah, there's a lot! What is it about Kinesis' statement that's especially noteworthy? The date? The date's the make of the car is not it. The number of people, yeah, but also, wait a minute. If I remember correctly, from Christmas Eve 18 years ago was the IS-7 incident, where Carmelo Gusto and Artie Frost's sons would both visit Tangaroa's mansion up to the day before the incident. From the day of the incident onward, their whereabouts are unknown. The date. This was on Christmas Eve 18 years ago. You're certain of that? Not Christmas. Oh, I forgot. No, Miles, not Christmas. I am. Holy smokes. Yeah, he got it too. We have something that shows why that date is so significant. Which piece of evidence relates to the date on which Mr. Knies found the children? He said that out loud, by the way. That's why we have the IS-7 incident case file. Oh my god, every case has been connected. That was the same day on which a certain incident occurred. The murder of a well-known sculptor.
No way.
An incident in the aftermath of which 2 children went missing. Yeah, there they are. Oh, I thought I recognized the kids. I'm like, I've never seen this image before, but those kids look familiar. Because we've seen this photo before. The son of the victim, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Yeah, now that you mention it, the little guys did go AWOL, huh? Intriguing. The son of a murderer and the son of his victim. I suppose that would make sense. It would? One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see.
That must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting to the competition.
That's crazy! Indeed, because without his son to taste his creations, Mr. Gusto would have had no chance of winning. That's crazy! So he locked them in a car and bound him? That's evil! I forgive these children if one of them or both of them are murderers. That's crazy! So that was what was behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys were able to remember any such details. They weren't? No. When we met each other again on that night 12 years ago, the young pup explained it to me. It seems that they really were on the brink of death when I found them. And the shock of the experience caused them both to lose their memories. That's crazy. Double amnesia. They weren't even able to remember their names. I've got some theories.
Wow, so they wouldn't have known they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids?
Who are 2 boys that would be connected? You and you are the same age. And you know each other. And you're dead. And you're alive. So I wonder who it could be.
Wow, so they wouldn't have known they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids?
If what he's telling us is true, that would seem likely, yes. Which means we still don't have enough to tell us who our mastermind might be. I do, given all the profiles we have. And it's clearly somebody connected to the case. I don't think they'd introduce new people this late into the game. I have a theory. Mr. Knies, would you mind telling us what happened next? By all means. The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things. People from 12 years ago. He was in contact with Knight, wasn't he? We had that file, right? There's some sort of connection between Knight and Knies. As you know, we've been trying to find out who Knies plays his silly correspondence chess games with. Well, now we know. I'll be pulling Knight to my office for a thorough grilling tomorrow, and I'll make that worm amid Knies' lackey. It's the last thing I do. So you do your bit and retrieve the package we laid to rest 12 years ago. Yeah. People from 12 years ago. You mean LaGuard, Winner, and the President, I assume.
Well, Warden LaGuard was in charge of the prison where he was an inmate this whole time, right?
I fear I wasn't as kind to her as I could have been. But then she did try to have me killed. You already know why, of course. Because you murdered President Wang, but they needed the world to believe he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the president as a fake, it would have been bad for LaGuard and Chairman Winner, too. Exactly. And not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night. I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but Anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye. So he heard the call. Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody. I know you are. President Wang. I couldn't help overhearing the news. Congratulations. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill those I am employed to kill, which in this case means you. No. Wait, this is my first chance to meet him. And it might be my only chance. Please, give me just a few minutes longer. Oh, stop! I'm gonna cry. That's so sad. Stop it. A lot of family stuff. A lot of parent and son stuff in this. Oh, my heart. I thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character. Oh, that's so sad. I told him I was not aware that he had a child. No, he said, and shook his head. Neither was I. But the world will know that I have one now. I mean to make sure of it. Oh! I've even prepared something in case the worst comes to the worst. Oh, that's why he wrote it in the will. And the son in question. It was the young gentleman with the horns here, correct? Oh.
Horns? You can see them?
I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see. And for longer than you may realize. So the president meant to tell the world about Sean, and prepared something in case of the worst. But it's not enough simply to have Kinesa's word on the matter. Of course. We have something that proves what he's telling us. Telling us the president said is true. The will. A will everybody knew about. He entrusted it to my family to show his belief in us after all. The name in the recording. The preparations he had made in his will. With those 3 pieces of information, I was able to convince Warden LaGuardia to do anything I asked. With the information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth about the body double at any time. And Sean's true identity with it. President Wang was more agile than I anticipated. He blocked my first knife thrust with something soft. By the time the piece had broken off hit the snow, my next strike had hit its mark. So was Kinese who tore the horn off the Torosaurus doll. I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son. Well, me and the poor pup. The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. It's gotta be night. So you were able to continue communicating with him from prison? I was, via a post office box.
What's that?
It's a means of exchanging mail without revealing one's own address. I never knew where he was, and I wasn't able to slip out and track him down. I was being kept under rather strict supervision, you see. By Warden LaGuardia, no doubt. What were the two of you even communicating about? We were playing correspondence chess, of course. Yep, it's night. That and griping about our respective lots in life. So Knight was a little menace as a child, got that?
Correspondence chess? But didn't you used to play that with...
As unlikely as it may seem, Mr. Kinese's chess opponent was...
Mr. Knight? Yeah, it was Mr. Knight.
We found the diagram of the game in his cell, too. Sent to Brocco Knight by Bodhidharma Kinese, printed rather than handwritten. So does that mean Knight had something to do with all that IS-7 business? Wait, could that be it? Do we have any evidence that might connect Knight to the IS-7 incident? This?
Take that.
No, it's not. You're not trying to tell me this ties Knight denies everything, are you? So I gotta say, man. Fine. I'll take this over one more time. You had some of the Bronxer's things, right? Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, it's his stuff. Okay. Maybe something IS-7 relevant will jump out at you? Knight's things? I suppose it could be worth another look. Okay, let's go back.
Hold it.
Alright. Where is his stuff? I forgot we had his stuff. A pocket chess set and a ring. Found in the safe in the auction storeroom.
Take that.
This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue in here somewhere? A ring and a chess set. Which one should I look at more closely? The ring? The ring.
What about it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Mr. Fender, take a closer look at it if you would. Design. Oh my gosh, it is! I was like, that looks familiar. I feel like we've seen that before. That's Paul Halik's trademark mark. Indeed. It looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work with into a ring. That's right, we're doing IS-7. I forgot we were doing IS-7 and not SS-5. There's too many cases. Too many cases going on. I got confused. It looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work with into a ring. But why would Knight have been carrying it? And why was it not with the rest of the evidence from the IS-7 incident? He tried to release Frost's personal effects to his next of kin after the case wound down. But if I remember rightly, old Frosty Boy didn't have any family aside from his kid. And the kid was missing, so they never got to hand it back to him. Not till later, anyhow. I heard on the grapevine that they found him in the end and gave him the goods. Including the seal, it would seem. Which he turned into a ring and wore until his own death. Gotcha. So he's Frost's son.
So we're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son? Mr. Frost's son?
Which means that Simeon has to be the other guy's son. I mean, they knew each other, they were friends, they're the same age, like, it doesn't make sense if it's not him. Cops don't mess around with the stuff like that. They would have made sure before handing it over.
And we were looking for somebody connected to the IS-7 incident who played correspondence chess, right?
Wait, so our circuit string puller is Bronco Knight. Knight is dead. How could he possibly be involved in our current case? The other boy! The other boy! Far out. So our only candidate for a genius mastermind is a guy who already kicked the bucket?
That's impossible. How could a dead guy be behind all this?
It is a little perplexing, but then who else could it be? The other boy! But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my interest, so I thought I'd better get my brain and look into things. I did so used to enjoy tapping out my little letters and braille. Oops, wrong one. I meant not that one. I meant this one. Cause that's not braille. I got confused myself. There's no braille on it. There's no braille. Yeah. Why did he get it out in the first place, Albert? It seems a little strange, doesn't it, boy? Yes, it does. You sure the guy's really blind, Mr. Prosecutor? Well, I put it away already, so it doesn't really matter. I have to think about this more carefully. It's not in Braille. You said that you wrote all of your letters in Braille, is that correct? I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor, but you do know about my condition, don't you? That's odd, because the chess diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any Braille at all. Really? But surely that's impossible. How so exactly?
Maybe someone typed Mr. Kinesis' letters out on purpose?
Meaning there may have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them?
So then...
Mr. Knies says he wrote his letters in Braille, and yet the letters received by Mr. Knight contain no Braille at all. This suggests that there must be a third party who typed Mr. Knies' letters out. Guess it could have worked the same way on the flip side too, right? Whoever it was could have taken Knight's letters and turned them back into Braille? They could indeed. Weird. Retyped by the mastermind. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Knies. Mr. Knies, the answers you received. They were written in Braille too, yes. So some mysterious middle person really was retyping the Bronxter's missives? And that same person might well be our secret string puller. Wait, you're trying to say there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? So who's this new one? Bronco Knight's son, Artie Frost, is already dead. But what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago was actually who we've been looking for? Carmelo Gusto's son? But who is he? And where is he? If Knight was Frost's son, Gusto's son would have to be... I've known him since we were kids, when both of us were all alone. It's Simeon. Yeah. He doesn't have any family, you see. Just like me. Him? But surely not.
What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? You're white as a sheet.
Of course. It all makes sense. I know exactly who our so-called mastermind is. Yeah, I got it. I got it too, buddy.
What? Who? You have to tell us.
I can hardly believe it, but it's somebody we know rather well. Regina! Lock her up. Lock her up. It's Regina. The person we've been looking for is Simeon.
Take that.
It has to be the person behind all this. The person who forced Chairman Winter's hand by sending the letter to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and bugged Kay and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Who drugged Kay, carried her up to the roof of the big building. It was the monster.
What? Did you really just say what I thought you did?
Yes, the monster. That was the key to unmasking our mastermind. Oh, I almost forgot. We're, doing a no-show soon. I'd love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one.
That's right. The Berry Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Miss Lloyd, could I ask you a favor?
Who, little old me? What kind of favor?
You told us you recorded the sound of Torosaurus breathing fire.
Ah. I see.
Proof? What kind of proof? Did you capture something on your tape recorder, perhaps?
Ooh, you're good, Ruffles. Sharper than a gosh dang tack. I captured the sound of that big old beastie breathing fire is what I captured. Sure did. Like I said, it didn't precisely see the guy, but boy, did I hear him.
Can we listen to the tape?
You surely can. Let's see now.
That's it. That sound. It must be what I think it is. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster, the identity of the person behind all this. It's all falling into place. Miss Hart, you saw a giant eye at the window of the storeroom, did you not?
Yep. Snap me a picture of it too. Even if you can't rightly see it so well.
We can't see it right now, but... Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir! Your image analyzer. Your image analyzer. Can we borrow it again? Sure, but what do you want to look at, sir? This photograph right here. Gotcha, I'm on it. The clue we're looking for must be here. We just have to find it. Oh! That's... See? I done told y'all. Taurosaurus his own dang self. Yes. There it is at last. The monster commanded by the architect of this whole scheme. I'm confused. Somebody gets... Monster? You're finally ready to admit it? That he's danged well real? The big bad bull himself? No, because that isn't Taurosaurus at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this if you would. The lion?
The very big circus flyer? Oh, wait, look.
You see it? The enormous lion balloon? Oh my gosh, it's a balloon! I didn't even realize. Wow. 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 That's the real monster. Wow. And the sound Miss Lloyd thought was the creature breathing fire?
Oh, come on. You're really gonna bring me crashing down the earth like that?
That's how balloons fly, huh? They burn gas to make hot air? They do. And our culprit was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going near the elevator. And possibly also to bring the president body double down. Because we never see him leave. Oh, that's so interesting.
So this culprit, they've got something to do with the circus?
Yeah, Kay. They do. It's Regina. Lock her up. Circus worker, friend of the Bronxster, son of Gusto. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're not serious. You forgot to mention trainee animal tamer. It's hard to believe. Crazy. Crazy. He's the one that's been pulling the strings this whole time. That's right. Simeon Saint is the one behind all of this.
Simeon? But everything? Really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. You can't tell me that was all lies. That would be too horrible.
I'm sorry, Kay. Who was that?
Hey, where do you think you're going, old man?
Nothing escapes you, does it, young pup? My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, Roki BTV. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How you doing?
But now that I know the truth, my business here is done. What? No, Mr. Knies, wait! Oh. Damn it! He disappeared!
Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth?
Don't worry, I'm fine, but... Damn you! Are you alright, Sean?
He killed my dad. He did, right?
There's no easy way to say it, but... I'm sorry, Sean. It would appear that he did.
He won't get away with it. I'll make him pay. Somehow, some way. I'll... No, Sean. You mustn't say such things.
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. You'll have to forgive us both. I just put the call out, sir. All units are on the lookout for Mr. Knies. I don't mean to hurry everybody, but we better be on our way too. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind? I wonder. I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right now. He said he had the practice for the show. Which I guess means he'll be at the circus. But before we leave, there's something I'd like to ask of you, Agent Lang. There is. What? Once a beast has been sighted, the next step is the planet's capture. When we arrive, there's something we'll need to try and find as a matter of priority. And Detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping. Yes, sir.
I want to help too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Good. There's somebody I'd like you to try and contact. If Saint really is our mastermind, we're going to need this person's help. Regina! Between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I messed up. There's no other way of putting it. But I'm going to put things right once and for all.
Ooh. Oh! No!
No, I want to keep going! The mastermind's true face. I'm gonna keep going. I was gonna end there, but this is getting very good. This case is getting very, very good. April 6th, 5:30 p.m. Very big circus, big shop. Ooh. Ah, the music. Oh.
Oh, hi, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh. Oh, he's in a new outfit. Did you guys come to watch the show? Hello, Miss Barry, Mr. Saint. You're a little early, I'm afraid. We're still practicing. But I'm glad you kept your promise. Yes, I remembered you giving me this. That's so great. You're gonna have so much fun. I think you'll even be surprised, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? I think you've surprised me enough for one day already. Oh.
What are you talking about?
Would you mind looking at this photograph, Miss Barry? That's the eye painted on the balloon you used to advertise the circus, correct?
Oh, yeah. What is this exactly?
I have a strong suspicion that the balloon was used by the criminal we've been looking for.
You do?
It's you! I'm sorry. Who's usually in charge of the balloon, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that would be Simeon. But wait, you don't mean...
Mr. Saint? You took the balloon out late the other night, didn't you? Sure, I was practicing. I'm still pretty bad at flying it, so I needed to put in some extra hours. At night? When it would have been even more difficult than usual? Strange time to decide to practice. But why else would I have taken the balloon out? What are you saying? I'm not suspicious, you're suspicious! That you weren't practicing at all? You were taking an unconscious Kay to the top of the big building in order to frame her for the murder of Rosie Ringer. The security cameras never recorded Kay taking the elevator up to the roof, which means she must have gotten there another way, from the sky. And the only person able to make that happen would have been you. But, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't understand. That's not all you did. You also attacked Sean at the garbage disposal area, drugged him, and carried him away. That's why you were late for the hearing at the courthouse, wasn't it? I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I do any of those things? Please, you have to believe me. I'd never, ever, ever do anything like that. I wish I could believe you, but I can't. Any trust I had in you has been completely destroyed. That's horrible. Why would you say that? You told me back at the jail. You said you believed I was innocent. In that case, yeah, sure.
You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club, after all. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had a little reason to kill Knight. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured we believe you, and we will get you out of here. This is just awful. I never thought you'd lie to me.
We didn't lie. I swear, Simeon,
You said you knew what it was like to be me. I trusted you. Oh, don't play this card. That hurts, Kay. It hurts so much. Okay, enough. Wah wah. I'm sorry. I like Simeon, but wah.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. This is Simeon we're talking about. He's not a bad person.
No, he's a horrible person. I see it now. That's your strategy, isn't it? With everybody. Pity. Pity. You root out their psychological weaknesses and exploit them. And without even realizing it, they wind up doing exactly what you want them to. Exactly the behavior one would expect from the arch manipulator behind all our recent troubles.
Oh, he was at the assassination. He was at the assassination because there was a guy in a red raincoat at the assassination. He's got a real big grudge against this body double president.
I was too blind to see it before, but you won't fool me again. Simeon Saint, you are guilty of crimes too numerous to mention. Oh, so that's how you want to play it, huh? You always did have the courage of your convictions, I guess. Luckily, grinding people's self-belief into dust is kind of a hobby of mine. Oh. Oh. Aw. Cute. Oh. 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 Okay. Okay, Simeon. Pop off. Wait. Pop off. I like this look on you. I don't even care that you're the bad guy. This look is good. Well done, all of you. Well, this certainly is a side of him we haven't seen before. So much for the trainee animal tamer who wouldn't hurt a fly. I guess that was all an act. But I'm glad we're finally getting to meet the real you.
Simeon, this can't be true. Can it?
Truth, lies, what does it matter?
Huh?
All you need to know is that Mr. Edgeworth here has made me very mad indeed. Oh my gosh, he's juggling squirrels. That's crazy. And now, he's going to pay. Oh. I was just out practicing. Sure, I went up in the balloon a couple of nights ago, but I was just practicing. I guess somebody took that picture when I flew by the big building. I fly around the area doing promo stuff for the circus all the time. Nothing to see here, Miles. Nothing at all. So you go up in the balloon reasonably often? Promoting the circus, like I said. Is that true, Miss Barry?
Well, it's true that it's Simeon's job to go up in the balloon and spread the word. I guess just about everybody in the area would have seen him up there by now.
Well, that same balloon was used in the commission of a crime. Nonsense. I just happened to be in the area where it happened. Somebody took a picture when I was floating past the big building. That's all. I'll be the judge of whether you just happen to be nearby. Thank you very much. Ooh. Sure, went up in the balloon a couple nights ago, but I was just practicing.
Hold it.
This balloon, do you usually launch it from here at the circus? No. You need a wide open space. There's a park over by Sunshine Coliseum. That's where I usually take off from. I see. And how do you get the balloon to the park to launch it? Not by hand, that's for sure. That thing must weigh a few 100 pounds. Kind of impressive that it can even get off of the ground now that I think about it. I prefer if you didn't change the subject. How do you transport the balloon? Wow, give a guy a break, will ya? It's not like I was getting miles off track. Sheesh. We use a truck, okay? You just load it on the back and away you go. This truck? A truck, you say? Yeah, last time I took it out would have been 2 days ago. That could be important. I better keep it in mind. Last time I took out the balloon on the truck would have been back then, the day before last.
Objection.
This truck, it wouldn't happen to be blue by any chance? Huh? So what if it is? We happened to see a blue truck ourselves just today. One with a large basket loaded on the back. If that was the truck you told us about, then your statement about it not having moved in 2 days is a lie. Hey! Emma! Agent Lang? Emma?
There you are, Mr. Edgeworth, at last. I've been trying to find you ever since we wrapped up the case yesterday. Kay sent me a message saying you were here, so I came right away.
And I found what you asked me to go look for. It was loaded onto a truck in the parking lot out back. A blue truck. Smaller balloon used for promotional purposes. Saint is in charge of it and drives it around on the back of the truck. Well, well. I think that truck might be the one we saw earlier today. In fact, I'm almost certain of it.
Objection.
Ooh! Okay, wait, okay, hold on. Okay, Simeon. That's your voice? Okay. What? Just because it's blue? Like a million other trucks? What makes you so sure it's the exact same one?
No, I saw it too. It's the same one for sure.
Objection.
Huh? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
That wasn't me. Oh. Did he do an impression of him? Worthless are the words of a man who can't back up his claims with evidence.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Show me. I demand proof. I must be able to prove it somehow. It's the same truck, I'm sure of it.
Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck?
The engine's cold, which means it's been here for a while.
No way you could tell just from that.
What can I use to prove it's the same truck?
Fingerprints! You touched it.
I'd like to have the truck dusted for fingerprints. Why would you want to do that? Because I expect to find a certain very specific set of prints. And if I do, that will prove beyond all doubt that it's the truck we saw in front of the big building. Whose prints will prove it was the truck we saw?
Mine!
Yours. You think you're gonna find your own prints on there?
Yeah, we touched it. We just had a flashback of it.
I do, because I put my hands on your truck when I saw it in front of the big building. Let's see what we can find, shall we? Emma, could you lend us your scientific skills one more time?
That's why I'm here. One moment, please. Alrighty. Take it away, Mr. Edgeworth.
Me?
Of course. Who else did you think was going to do it? You're the main character. You have to do it. Don't worry, it's easy. I'll show you how.
It's been a while since we've done fingerprint dusting. Fine. Although I don't see why you can't do it yourself.
So, just spread the powder over the area you want to search for prints. Like this.
Moving the cursor around and pressing X will allow me to dust the area with powder.
It sticks to fingerprints, so once you found one, make sure to dump plenty on there. And then blow away the excess.
Blow it away?
Yeah, with your mouth. Like that.
Blowing with triangle should remove any excess powder.
Alright, you got all that?
Yes, thank you. Now to try it for real.
Oh, there's no such thing as too much powder, by the way. Go crazy.
If this is the only fingerprint we're gonna dust from anything, this is crazy. Like, just to do it for just this.
That's it. It's a nice clean print you got there.
Can we compare it to my prints right away?
Yep. Leave it to me.
'Tis a match.
That confirms it. It's Mr. Edgeworth's print, alright.
Where are we doing this test? Did they drive the truck into here? And with that, another lie is exposed. Yeah. So what were you doing in the truck? Oh, just driving around. For fun, you know. He talks like me. That's how I talk. Oh, Simeon. My love. Kay was abducted 2 nights ago, and your balloon was sighted nearby. Then today, another abduction, this time involving a truck supposedly used to transport garbage. And your truck was sighted nearby.
Objection.
Objection. I like his voice. Coincidence? Nothing more. You want me to believe that you were near the scene of 2 separate abductions, simply by chance? Just be honest. You were involved in both. What makes you think they were even connected?
Objection.
A certain very important piece of evidence, that's what. Ooh, this should be good. What connects Kay and Sean's abductions? The drug. I remember that. The sedative. Kay was drugged with a dose of a powerful sedative. And a bottle of sedative was found right where Sean was being held captive. The very same brand, no less.
Objection.
I knew you'd try something like this. So the same sedative was used. So what? Does that mean everything's connected? You know as well as I do, that doesn't prove anything for sure. We must have something. There must be a piece of evidence that could tie him to both crimes. Cops, prosecutors, you, Miles, you're all the same at the end of the day. You force the evidence to fit the crime, or you flat out make it up, just as long as somebody goes to jail. You're no different from a certain other evidence tamperer we've had the misfortune of meeting.
Objection.
No, I'm nothing like him.
Objection.
Ooh. Then show me. Hit me with your killer piece of evidence. You must have one, right? It's no use. We don't have anything that can tie him directly to both kidnappings. Okay, then you about done there, Miles? No more cheap shots left to fire? Damn, he's roasted us. Great, well, I'll have a show to be rehearsing for, so if you don't mind...
Objection.
Eddie! Hey, come on now, you two. There's no need to get all hot under the collar. Wouldn't want your good looks running down your face now, would we, Simeon, old pal? What are you sticking your nose in for? Hey, I just sensed the vibe getting a little harsh and heavy, yeah? Thought I oughta lighten the mood? Help me out here, Kay. Lift our spirits with a little dose of the old great thief magic.
You don't have to tell me twice. Okay, let me see if I can do Simeon's voice. Here goes. Objection?
What do you... Take this seriously, will you? Thought you could do with somebody running a little interference for you, Milester. Not the most ethical approach, I know, but again, Kay, again! I can worry about whether or not this is the right thing to do later. This is my last chance to try and prove a connection between Mr. Saint and his crimes. Let's forget the kidnappings for now. Is there anything else that suggests he is our mastermind? Mr. Canis. Of course. Canis was looking for our secret string puller too. The young pup, as he called him. If I could prove that Mr. Saint was that same young pup, then perhaps... But what evidence do I have that might point him to being involved with the scenes? Behind the scenes. Oh, there was because it was a third person. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. And that same person might well be our secret string puller. That's right. Our mastermind was involved in Canis and Knight's correspondence chess exchanges. If I could prove that Mr. Saint was the hidden intermediary between the two of them. Alright, that's enough. This is getting painful. You don't have anything, and I have to practice for this show, so if you don't mind...
Objection!
Thank you, Mr. Fender. I could take it from here, and I can't take any more of your interventions. Ooh, just look at that face. Yeah, I like it. Miles Arena's back in the game for sure. I'm Simeon, the funny clown. Look at me. I'm, juggling. Okay, you can stop now. Mr. Saint, you're a fan of chess, I take it? Huh. Where did that come from? Chess? Sure, I don't hate it. Our secret string puller was playing correspondence chess with Mr. Canis.
Objection!
I thought Bronco was the one playing chess with Canis. You're saying he was your so-called mastermind?
Objection!
No, it wasn't him. Whoever it was went on manipulating events even after Knight's death. Take a look at this letter, if you would. Who do you think could have written it? I believe it's the person who had inserted themselves between Mr. Canis and Knight. And you think that person was me? Why would I go to all that trouble? That's crazy. To make it appear that the two men were connected and communicating directly with one another. The very fact that led Fifi LaGuardia to murder him.
What? You're saying he set that up to try and get Mr. Knight killed?
Oh.
Objection!
Listen to yourself. What do you think I am? Some kind of evil puppet master? You've seen me. I could barely even get the animals to do what I want. If I could find one of the letters he passed between Knight and Canis, that would prove the connection beyond a doubt. I'd like to have your room searched. Room search. I believe we might find letters. You won't, trust me. What? Once I'm done with something, I put it straight in the trash. Guess I'm not the sentimental type. Why get hung up on the past, right? He must have disposed of any incriminating items in order to cover his tracks. I guess you went in without the evidence you needed once again, huh? That's a bad habit, you know. So this doesn't prove anything either. We've fallen short yet again. What do we do now? Are we out of options? You accuse me of betraying my friend and you don't even have any proof? You're despicable. Who was that?
Oh, hi.
Miss Barry? What does she want?
Sorry, it's just, I was thinking about what you were saying, and this Knight person? You mean Bronco, right? Simeon's friend?
Yes, what of it? Does she know something?
A letter came from him this morning. For Simeon.
Came from him this morning! Guy's been dead a bit. What? What did you... How is that possible? Knight is dead. Miss Barry, we need to see this letter right away.
Sure. Here you go. Let's open it up, shall we?
So here's... Oh. So here's my next move. Pawn to g6. Can anybody else smell checkmate? Can't wait to see your face when you lose. But you were never gonna beat me, not at chess. It's another correspondence chess letter.
The next move from the game with Mr. Knies.
Can anybody else smell checkmate? Can't wait to see your face when you lose. But you were never gonna beat me, not at chess. It's postmarked the 26th of March. The day before Knight died. I guess it must have gotten held up en route.
Well, we do move around a lot. It's part of being a traveling circus. Our mail arrives late all the time.
Interesting that it's addressed directly to you, Mr. Saint. This is it, isn't it? The proof we needed that you were the one facilitating Mr. Knies and Knight's games. One of the letters you would have transcribed into Braille, in order to create the illusion that they were somehow connected. Curse you, Bronco. You're still getting in my way, even now? I hate you, I hate you.
Why does he hate him? Simeon, how could you? Mr. Knight was your only friend.
We weren't friends. I stopped thinking about him as my friend 18 years ago.
Huh.
Right around the time of the IS-7 incident, in other words. I nearly froze to death because of him. I was just about to head out and meet my dad at the contest. But then Bronco showed up. He pinned me down and tied me up. He was crying the whole time, whining on and on. I'm sorry, but my dad says I have to do this, and if I don't do what he says, he's so scary. Aw.
Stop it! Bronco, stop it! I have to go meet my dad, I promised. If I'm not there to taste his candy for him, he'll be so upset. He needs me. If I don't go, he won't be able to show everybody he's the best in the world. Oh.
But no, he locked me in that car with him, and the two of us nearly died. He thought he could get out, but when he tried the door, it was frozen shut. We were trapped. That's how I lost my dad.
Oh. You lost your dad?
Yeah, Bronco's dad killed mine. He was the son of a murderer. What does he mean? That doesn't match up with what we know at all. Simeon, the guy in the IS-7 incident was a guy named Artie Frost. Yeah, that was my dad's name.
But your dad wasn't the...
My memories got kind of scrambled that day. What little I remembered was pretty mixed up. So I didn't find out until later that my dad was murdered. The murderer was a man named Carmelo Gusto, a confectioner. Really? I never knew Bronco's father's name. Or maybe I chose not to remember. Ugh, just thinking about the sicko that killed my dad turns my stomach. Mr. Saint, are you sure you didn't know the name of the murderer until just now? Do you think I'd sit on it if I did? No, I'd have reported him to the police straight away. All I knew was that Bronco's dad tricked my dad. And that's how I knew my dad was the one who was killed that day. But from what we know, Bronco was Artie's son, not Simeon. Because of the ring. Bronco was a traitor. He helped his father murder mine. He was the son of a cold-blooded killer. He deserved to die. I'm sorry, Mr. Saint, but you've made a mistake. A big one. A mistake? What do you mean? Artie Frost was a sculptor. He'd been working in France not so long before the murder, under the name Paul Halik. So I hear, but I don't remember anything about that. Wish I could. Well, I'm afraid it's only natural that you don't, because he wasn't your father. Huh? Is this your idea of a joke? Well, it's not funny, not at all. You're right, it's not. But you need to know the uncomfortable truth. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Artie Frost's son.
Take that!
Huh? Bronco's chest set in a ring? Yes. Take a look at the ring for me, if you would. What does that engraving on it tell you? It's 2 letters, right? It is. This is the seal with which Paul Halik used to mark his works. And it was found next to Artie Frost's body 18 years ago. But why would Bronco have a memento of my father? The police looked for Frost's son for a long time, and eventually they found him. The ring was handed over to the man they were able to prove was his child, Bronco Knight. What? But that's not... That would mean I was... Precisely. That you are in fact the son of Carmelo Gusto. No, I can't be. I'm... My dad was... I remember. Don't I? Bronco tied me up and locked me in that car. It was his fault I lost my dad. He deserved to die. Did he? No way. So I get to see your circus thing even though I'm in jail? I was looking forward to the next move in our little chess game, so the show is just the icing on top. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. I will. Hey, come back soon, okay? I'll be mulling over my next move in the meantime. No, stop! He actually thought of him as a friend. Oh, speaking of which, I put a little something in your chess set. But you could take a look at it later. A little something? No idea what that might be, but thanks. If you hadn't detained me 18 years ago, it wouldn't have had to end like this. Huh? Did you say something? Me? Oh, it was nothing. Oh my god, he was gonna kill him. Goodbye, Bronco. And farewell. I did all of that, and now you're telling me that it was my father who killed Broncos? Then what was all this for? I didn't want to wind up dead too. I didn't want to be weak and vulnerable. That's why I tried to be like Kanice, why I stayed in touch with him all these years. And there we have it. The truth at last. Mr. Saint, you were Mr. Kanice's correspondence chess partner. And you were the one manipulating events this whole time. You're right. It was me. It was me all along. At last, he's finally telling the truth. I was the one who witnessed the murder 12 years ago. But you knew that already. The president's assassination. Just as we thought. Which means he's the one who drew the picture. They knew it too. That's why LaGuard kept questioning me. Day in and day out. He got so I couldn't face what I knew the next day would bring. I was a nervous wreck. Who could blame me for wanting to get out of there? But I imagine it wasn't as easy as simply running away. Winter would have sent his men after you. No matter where I went, they were on me. They never stopped coming. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't sleep at night. Even the smallest noise had me chasing shadows. It drove me crazy. So I joined the circus. At least that way moving from place to place was part of the job. My whole life I've been up against the chief prosecutor and the warden of a prison. No regular person could hope to stand up to people like that. From the time I was a child, I had nobody. But they weren't even the worst of it. The body double was behind it all, controlling everything. He may have been a fake, but he was the president of an entire country. What hope did I have? There's only one person I could turn to. Kanice, the man who saved my life. He wasn't like Bronco. He really did want to help me. That's quite a claim. Strange to think of our famously ruthless assassin winning the admiration of the child he saved. He showed me how to stop being a victim, to stop being hunted, and become a hunter myself. and they all became my prey. But I doubt even you imagine that the body double would ever go so far to co-opt our country's police. No, I sure didn't. And as long as Winter was around, no evidence was ever going to stand. He even nearly managed to ruin things this morning. LeGuard almost got away with it again. But I know him now like the back of my hand. I could see exactly how it was going to all go down. So we saw right through their plan. How Chairman Winter would try to suppress the evidence in warden LeGuard's trial. I see. And that's why you kidnapped Sean, correct? You wanted to force a guilty verdict regardless of the presence of evidence or the rule of law.
Objection.
Maybe I did, but how else was I gonna make them pay for what happened 12 years ago? Whatever helps you sleep at night. But Winter pulled one last surprise, didn't he? He tried to kidnap Sean himself in the hope of influencing the verdict. In other words, he chose the exact same course of action as the man you so fervently claimed to hate.
Objection.
That's only if I'd actually kidnapped anyone at all. But I never do anything so wicked. Never ever. Me? Commit a crime? No. Besides, I don't hate the three of them. If anything, I'm grateful. If they hadn't done what they did, my revenge wouldn't have been nearly as fun. So you admit it. Your motive in all of this was nothing more than revenge? Sure, I admit it. So what? I despised every single one of them. But here's the kicker. I didn't kill anybody. The most she could blame me for is writing the odd letter here and there. A quick note to Ringer to tell her about Winter, another to him so he knew about her. But the fact they wanted to kill each other and one of them succeeded, that was all on them. He also wrote a letter to Kay. So you take no responsibility for the fact that your actions resulted in multiple murders? Right. Same thing at Gourd Lake. People are much easier to control than animals, you know. The whole fake assassination plot, I handed that to Bronco on a plate. That was part of his plan too? So Rook's murder was...
Objection.
No. That was all Bronco's idea. Nothing to do with me at all. Still, it moved things in the right direction, wouldn't you say? Isn't fate a crazy thing?
You can't talk like that about a murder.
Setting LeGuard up was easy too. I just made it seem like Knight and Kanice were in contact with each other. And slipped the chisel inside the chest set. So it was you who put it in there? Yes, it was. I thought that might point everybody nicely in Kanice's direction. Ah. Worked out pretty well, even if I do say so myself. Who knew that would be all it took to make that awful woman murder poor Bronco? I guess she got to where she was. I guess she got to where she just saw enemies everywhere she looked. I know the feeling. Even the smallest thing can send your paranoia into overdrive, and then things get ugly quickly. I had a front row seat for the whole show. You were the last piece to be put into play, of course. Who? Me? You solved both cases and finally brought down Winter and LeGuard. I guess you could say your powers of deduction were the weapon that put an end to them both.
Objection.
I didn't solve those cases for your sake. Sure, you didn't know you were doing me a favor. You were just playing at being an attorney for a little while, right? What did you say? All I had to do was cower and say, no, a few times. And you rode to my rescue like the hero you are. Getting arrested part of your plan too? No, that wasn't something I expected, I have to admit. I never thought I'd take the chisel for the murder weapon. That was a real plot twist. Made my blood run cold for sure. But then who should come through with the turnabout to end all turnabouts? The greatest legal mind of his generation. My knight in shining armor. But it felt pretty good saving me like that, huh? You ought to thank me, you know. I don't do that for many people.
You're wrong. He wasn't playing at being an attorney. He was trying to help you, because helping people is what Mr. Edgeworth does. Aw. He helped me right when I needed it most.
Okay. Aw, did he? You sure he wasn't just trying on his dear departed daddy's shoes for size? Oh my god.
don't. That's not what he was doing.
Come on, K-Master. Don't let this clown get you down. He's projecting, plain and simple. Painting other folks with his own grubby brush. It's not just he doesn't trust other people. The poor kid doesn't even understand the concept. Doing something for somebody else's sake? Forget about it. He'll never understand. You think I care about what you have to say about me? Consider this for a second. I've gotten my revenge on everybody I set out to get it from, and yet...
Oh boy.
You can't prove I incited anything. Wow. I'm losing my voice. I gotta end. I want to keep going, though. Oh. This case is getting crazy. Oh, man. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me find someone to raid. That worked. There we go. Thank you all so much for tuning into the stream. Oh my gosh, this case is crazy. We might end up finishing it next stream. Wow, and then we'll be done with Ace Attorney Investigations. Man. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure being here, and I'll be back again soon. I need to go rest my voice. I'm losing it. I'm sending you all off. Go send some love. And I'll see you guys next stream. Bye. Sending you off at 5, 4, 3, 2. Bye bye.